welcome back to FiddleUP. I just dropped my shoulder rest. Hang on one second. I got really into that tune there. That was Banish, Misfortune. Don't worry, this happens if this happens to you. Happens to me all the time. Everything's supposed to be loose. Your bow's supposed to be loose. This is supposed to be slightly loose, and sometimes things just come apart. That's okay. So that is Banish, Misfortune. It's one of my favorite Irish tunes. It's this beautiful 3-part tune, and it's not difficult as tunes go. It's not tricky as far as the actual tune goes. That there's so much room in there for adding a whole bunch of extra flavor. It's just a really, really cool tune to use for all kinds of things. You can use this in jam sessions and concerts. It's not as great as a dance tune unless you specifically have something that's choreographed for this one because it's 3 parts. But you never know. If you have a step dancer going and things are kind of loosey-goosey, you never know. So we're going to start up on the top string on your E string. So on your F sharp up here. So we got an F sharp here. And it's too easy to throw a trill in there, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm doing a 3rd finger trill, but you could do a 2nd finger or whatever you feel like. So on that C right there, I'm kind of doing a little bit of a slide up, just a... And that's like almost a little bit, it's a little bit, almost a little bit more kind of bluesy American style, but I'm doing it anyway. There are Irish players who do that because things are kind of mixed genre now. But that little slide on the 2nd finger is a little bit more unusual. Another thing you could do is you could do some neighbor notes there. I know I'm kind of cracking right into the ornamentation here, but there's just so much room for ornamentation. It's going to be hard not to keep it out of the tune. So let's start off with the first phrase here. So starting on the F sharp on your E string. So F sharp, E, D, and then C, A, G, A. So I'm starting off with a big down bow there. And other than that, it's pretty standard. Next phrase. And I like to throw some rolls in there because the melody is a little boring. It's actually nicer to put some rolls in there. So let's just try to throw them right in. Now, if you haven't learned how to do rolls yet, I would highly recommend checking out the ornamentation section. There's a video there on how to do a roll. And if you don't want to do the rolls, you could play this. So that's F sharp down to D, and then G, F sharp, G. So the whole phrase is. But if you're going to add your rolls in, then just go for it. So that's a roll on your 2nd finger, with your third finger and first finger involved. And then third finger with your fourth finger and second finger helping out there. So let's start from the top so we don't get confused. Let's try that again. And I'm putting a nice big double stop in there, and you can try that if you want to with the open A. And the next phrase is so that's, we're going to just go from the A down to the G, and then up to the C natural. So the first phrase is followed by going back down to the G again. So it's a little repetitive and funny. And so there's some neighbor notes right there to get you up to the E string. So starting from the A string again. Let's try that one more time. And the last phrase is so starting from your F sharp at the top. So you've got a nice little C sharp in there for no reason. We were doing a C natural, if you notice, but we've switched to a C sharp, and this happens all the time in Celtic music. I really love it. There's just kind of these, in traditional theory, you call these accidentals, where it's just suddenly a different note. But they happen so often in Celtic music, we don't even refer to them. They're just, it's just different now. So there we go. Okay, so let's start from the top of the A part. So let's break that down. We're starting from at the top with a double stop if you like on the A and the F sharp. And now we're down on the low F sharp. We're going to do those rolls, remember? And here's this kind of repetitive A, G part here. And then the closer. Start on the top, F sharp. And I like to do some neighbor notes on that last little bit. There is a video on neighbor notes in the ornamentation section if you want to go check that out. So let's try the whole B part. Sorry, the whole A part. Let's try the whole A part twice. don't know if you noticed what I was accidentally doing there, but I started off with doing that little slide on that C natural in the beginning, and as we've gone on, I'm now doing it on every C sharp. That kind of happens when you start doing one thing. You start repeating and repeating, and that's okay. It's actually okay to have a little bit of a motif with these tunes, meaning you kind of have a little theme going with one of your ornaments. You don't want to overdo anything, but it is a very natural thing to do, so sometimes it's okay to just let it happen like I just did there. So let's move right on to the B part. So we have so this one's a little squirrely for me. I feel like I play this B part a little bit differently every time. So if I keep messing this up, I'm sorry, but it's kind of on purpose. It's very fluid. So we're going to start on your top F sharp. So I'm going to do a little roll on my third finger there. And I'm ringing my bottom D there for a nice drone if you want to do that. And then going up to the F sharp again. That's F sharp to D. And then to the top A. So together we have. And then to the open E. Getting a lot of roll practice today. I love it. So open E to C natural. Try that again. So with the bowing here, if you notice, I'm doing those rolls on a big up bow. Did we learn that part yet? I'm not sure if we did. So let's try that. E, G, E, G, E, C, E, G. I know my letters. So that's open E, down to the C, E, G, F sharp, and open E. So far we have and then the next part is really nice and easy. We have a nice F sharp. Nice and easy going. F sharp. So that's F sharp, G, A, G, F sharp. And then E, G, G. And how I'm doing, I'm throwing a trill in there to articulate between those two notes. So together, that whole phrase is. And then you already know the last phrase. Cool, huh? So the two last phrases go. All right, so let's try that whole B part together. something I didn't intend to. This is what I was warning you about. This tune is so fluid for me. I can't even keep it straight. So I meant to do that third phrase like this. But instead I played, which I'm sure it's written down like that somewhere. I've got to pick some way to teach it to you today. You know, it's one of those things where these tunes change a lot all the time, especially in Irish tunes. They're so fluid. You could change them around and play almost a completely different tune. So that's why this is happening, in case you're frustrated with me at this point. I'm sorry. So let's start the B part again and play it twice through with a repeat. There we go. Okay, so let's try the C part now. So this one's nice and easy. And don't worry, that ending is not hard. It's all little neighbor notes. And you already know that part anyway, so don't worry, we'll get there. So the first part is you're going to start on your F sharp again. And you could do your open E there. Obviously, you would do your open E most of the time in fiddle music instead of your fourth finger. But there's something about that one that I really stick with. So that's starting on your F sharp to G, E to F sharp, down to the A string, D, E, with the fourth finger, and then C natural to D. So I love how loping that sounds. Dum, da, da, dee, da, 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 dum. And then here we're gonna play. Now you could play a B there. I think most people probably do that, but this is my version. So. But I like keeping that C natural thing going. So this is on your middle two strings. You have A, C, A, and then G, A, G, and then down to your F sharp on the D string. So those two phrases together are nice and easy. Let's try that again. voice is. Which we know from the A part, sorry. And then the ending. And I like to do a funky little, so it's like a little double stop with the E on your D string. So what's happening there is honking on that double stop there, and then I'm doing a third finger trill. You get the point. So let's try the whole C part together. I forgot to say was the pickup. I'm just doing a simple E pickup there. That's the easiest thing. And you could hold out there. You could actually leave and do no pickup there. That would be one of the few times that's actually a really kind of very appropriate for that part. But I like to stick an E in there for some reason. Sometimes things happen without without me deciding what happens ahead of time. Some things just happen. So I think we should start from the top of the tune and try to go all the way down. So the A part is. B part is. And then the C part. All right, are we ready? I'm almost ready. 1, 2, and here we go. right, we made it. I almost played it the way I was supposed to play it, or the way I meant to play it, but well, so let's talk about how to level up this tune to the next level, because I apparently can't play this tune normal. So we're gonna have to. So I suppose the way I play that A part wouldn't be terribly different. It would just be faster. This is one of those tunes that's fun, really fun to go really fast on. It's got a lot of energy to this tune. I would just add more double stops, I think, is what I was doing there. And that I kind of like to double stop through that too, because it adds a lot of funky tension. You see what I mean? You're kind of getting all that goodness in there. And then the B part. I would really be using the most of that bottom D drone. Just let it ring. Just really give it its day in the sun. Do you see how I'm kind of grabbing it? The trick with these drones is to grab it and let it ring while you're doing other stuff, and then come back and grab it again. So if you can hear, I went back and grabbed it again to extend its life, if that makes any sense. I kind of wanted it to keep going the whole time, but I can't play on it the whole time. So I had to give it a long one. So because I have to be up on the E string there. So I wanted to make sure I had gotten 2 good bows out of it. So it was really going to keep ringing down there. That's me adding some warbles up there. That's me putting down and then lifting up my first finger really quickly. So instead, and sometimes, you can refer to this as a double trill. I have heard people call it that, but warble is so much more fun to say. So instead of, do you see how that adds a little something special? So, and I think that was all I was going to say about that. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot my favorite double stop of this whole tune. I like to do this. Ooh, I love doing that. I really love it. Getting a roll right on that C double stop, that is so much fun to do. So instead of just playing the C, I'm putting my second finger over both the A and the E string, so over the C and the G, and then rolling over the double stop. And it just sounds so weird and cool. I really love. So that's not a very common thing to do. That's one of those things that you do when you're absolutely obsessed with double stops. Like I have been putting them in just everywhere all the time. So give that one a try. It's really fun. And B part. This one is just like a nice waterfall, like a cascading waterfall. Da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. And you really don't want to take that out of it. You really just want to go with that, because that's a mood right there. So I'm emphasizing that by using my bowing. Down, up, down, up, down. So really going with that. And then I like to get really crunchy and articulate right there to kind of contrast between the two. So you have these big, long, sweeping. One too many in there, but that's okay. I got overexcited. So that is Banish Misfortune. And I hope you enjoyed this tune, and I hope you play around with all that fun stuff with all the ornamentation and the double stops and go crazy on it. This is a really fun tune to do all that with and experiment. There's plenty of room in there to put things in. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.